Hello everyone, this is Jamaica with Jamaica Life, and today I'm processing eggs. You cannot hold on to your fresh eggs very long unless you preserve them. So I have the quail eggs here, and I don't like boiled quail eggs. Some people do, it's just not for me. But, however, I do like scrambled quail eggs. So I decided to crack them all. And I have this little tool because quail eggs are not the same as chicken eggs. They're hard to crack. So you buy this little tool if you want to, and it clips off the top. And you just dump it in the jar. I was going to boil these, but I changed my mind because I don't like peeling them either. They're not easy to peel. So putting them in here. And I check them before I put them in there to make sure that they're fresh, because I did run into 2 bad ones. So it's supposed to look like that when you open them. If they don't look like that, toss them and wash your utensil with some hydrogen peroxide or bleach. You don't want to get yourself sick. I did the float test, but sometimes the float test does not work. Float test is when you put them, you submerge them in a bowl of water, and if they float or if they stand up, just toss them. They're no good. They're supposed to lay down like that. If they're standing like this, don't use them. They're not completely bad, but they're close. And I don't like the way this one looks, so I'm not going to use it. And instead of putting it in my sink, I throw it in the trash. I'll be right back. So, because I didn't trust that egg, see this tool? I'm going to get my sponge, and I'm going to get some hydrogen peroxide. This is better to be safe than sorry. And what we're going to do is we're going to wash this tool down. There's soap on here and hydrogen peroxide. We're going to wash it down and make sure we don't get sick. So I'm just being extra careful. You do this for you and your family. Make sure you don't, make your children or yourself sick. Now I got a whole bunch of eggs in here. I had a whole bunch of quail eggs that I had to go through, and I did not know what to do with them. It's going to be cold here soon. I cannot go out there in the cold and sell them. So this is what I'm doing. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it after. I smell them, because if I smell something that don't smell right, I toss it. Can never be, I don't like the way that one looks. Can never be too safe. That one was still good, but I got some shell in it. See that? Sometimes you get a bit of shell in it. It's fine. Okay. So now I have all of my quail eggs right here. This is like buying the bottled eggs or the carton of eggs. Same principle. So I'm going to mix these up. Well, we're going to mix these up. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with them. So what I have here is an old-fashioned beater. Y'all remember this? If you don't, you can go ahead and get one, right? All I'm going to do is beat these things. Some people can use an emulsifier. This is the same principle. I'm just trying to break the yolks. I'm a lefty. Tell I'm out of practice, huh? So, let me tell you something about quail. I hatch my own quail. I bought my first set, and I don't buy them anymore. I hatch them myself. I use my incubator that I use for chicken eggs. And instead of putting 12 eggs in there, I put 24. I double them up. I double up the slots. And on day 15, I candle the eggs. I just take my iPhone and I go through, I put it up to the egg, and if I don't see any, if it's dark, that means there's a chicken there. If there's no darkness and it's just clear, that's not a good egg, so I toss those. After day 15, is it day 15 or day 17? Day 15, I take the rotation thing out of the incubator, or I stop rotating them, and I just lay them there. By day 18, they'll be your chicks. I just hatched some more, and I think I got all but one. One came out deformed and it passed away. So I had 2. So now in there I have about 14 chicks. The reason why I grow quail is because it tastes better than chicken. And from what I hear, the protein in a quail egg is higher than the protein in a chicken egg. If you beat them like I'm doing right now, it tastes exactly the same as chicken eggs. And you can do this for your family once a week. So when you're rushing in the morning trying to get to work, you just pour a little bit out for you and your kids, and you'll be on your way. You'll have this ready-made stuff, just like the ones that you would buy in the containers. Now, there is a way to preserve them. I'm waiting for this thing to stop dripping. So I said there's a way to preserve them. Most people just put them in this jar and they put them in the refrigerator and they'll use this. It's a lot of eggs. It's a lot of quail eggs, because this quail eggs are like 3 or 4 to 1. I have a whole pot full. And I was not going to let my quail eggs go bad. I have already let some of my eggs go bad, and I was fussing at myself because I'm getting a lot of eggs. So these are cupcake silicone molds. You're gonna put them in your cupcake holder, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the cupcake holders in here, right? You get these online. You might be able to get them at the store. I haven't seen them in the stores, but if they are, you can look for them. They're silicone cupcake holders, so that your cupcakes, you can just pull your cupcake out and peel this back like the paper cupcakes, except you can use this over and over again. It's very, very convenient. And you don't have to worry about, your cupcakes getting stuck in the cupcake, and it keeps it neater. But it's also used for eggs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my egg mixture, and I'm going to try not to make a mess. And I'm going to fill it up little by little. Apparently I didn't get all the egg, but that's okay. And instead of using one, being limited to one egg, chicken egg, and by chicken I mean hen egg. Chicken is a species, so if you buy chickens from somebody, that includes the male and the female. The rooster is also a chicken. Roosters and hens are both chickens. So do not get yourself a roux. Tell them you want hens. And you still have to be careful. You have to check out the species and make sure that they're not trying to slip in a roux on you. Because roux, when you hatch your own eggs, I have had one where 80% of the hatch was roux. But I'm just going to, they're going to become chicken dinners. They're going to become chicken dinners because roosters, they fight for territory, and if you have too many of them, they'll start fighting with each other, and they'll beat up your hens. They'll continue to try to have, intercourse with your hens, and your hens will be all beat up looking. So I'm going to take a piece of wax paper, put it on the top of this, and put it in the freezer. And these are going to turn into little egg molds. The rest of this, I'm going to put in the refrigerator, and I'm going to use it for the rest of about 4 days, maybe. 3 to 4 days. But that's it. This is one way to save your eggs and do not let them rot. You do the same thing with hen eggs. Same thing with the chicken species hen eggs, except with the hen eggs, you're going to have one. This one, I see at least 4 or 5 egg yolks in here. So I hope that you all go ahead and get some quail. I'll show you my quail in a minute. And go ahead and preserve the eggs. Go ahead and check out the protein content of this also, because it's higher from what I hear. Let's go over to the quail. So here are the baby quail. They're still drinking water out of a cap because they're super small. Do not just put a cap in there without any water. I beg of you. They will not. They will trip and fall. I've actually almost had it happen to me. They will trip and fall, and I just fill the cap back up with water so that they have water, and they drink out of this. This is a big one. Last time I hatched, I only had one chick hatch because my quail were not old enough to know what to do. So that one is in here with the babies. That is still a chick, but it's about 5 weeks old. They grow super fast. They grow faster than chickens. But then after a while, the chickens surpass the quail. And this quail, she probably thinks she's a chicken because she was with some chicks. I had to put her with somebody. They're social animals. You can't leave them by themselves. Do not just get one chick or one chicken or one quail. They will not be a happy chick and they'll get depressed. So she's in here now with these babies. She was in there with chicken chicks for a long time, for weeks. But I had to move her because she was not the same as them and they were starting to pick on her. So let's go outside and look at the other ones. I'm afraid to put her outside with the bigger, keep on talking, huh? I'm afraid to put her outside with the bigger quail because the bigger quail are not very friendly and they don't care much for each other, much less an outsider. So I didn't want her to end up getting, pecked to oblivion, because quail don't stop until somebody's really hurt. So I'm gonna keep her with these small ones and she'll just become a part of this flock. They'll be used to her and she'll be used to them. By the way, quail do not pick on chicks. They have some kind of code. If they're little, they don't pick on it. But once you have a bigger chick like this one, you can't put them in with adults because they consider her an adult and a threat. So that's why she's in here with the chicks. Right, girl? You a sweetie pie? She's like, I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be here. So we're out here. This is my heater for the greenhouse. I have a brick. This thing is super light. If you buy this heater, who is it by? If you buy this heater, I don't know who it's by. You put a brick on the bottom of this thing because it rattles and it'll shake over and fall over, and you don't want that. That's bad news. But here are my quail. So the oldest ones are on the bottom, right? There's only one male down here, but up here, I have 4 males. Not good. How many in here? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 quail are in here. And then this was the hospital ward. She's all healed up now, and so is he. And I'm just gonna leave those 2 here until I figure out what I want to do with them. So these 2 are the same as these. They're in the same thing. So I guess I hatched 15 quail last time, and this time I think I have 13. So I'm getting out of 24, I'm getting a 50% hatch rate, and half of that is usually because the egg is not fertilized. So if the egg is not fertilized, I think 12 of them, no, 11 of them were not fertilized, and I tossed those. Do not eat those eggs, just toss them. There's an egg for me. She already laid. Pretty sure that's fertilized because he won't leave her alone. That's a male. So let me tell you about the males and how you identify a male with this type of quail, Coturnix quail. You see his head? His head is dark and the rest of his body is light. That's how you can tell a male quail. Females have a consistent color. Down here is the same thing. That is a male. Now with the other ones, like these, it's hard to tell. They're hard to sex. The only way you can sex them is when they start cock-a-doodle doing, or if they try to mate in front of you. But these, you see that? That is a male, definitely. Putting on a show for us, huh? Down here, there's 2 eggs down there. But down here, same thing, except for these type. These type of Coturnix quail, you cannot tell who the male and female is until they try to mate, or if they start, crowing. So there you are. So I hatched about 15 last time. Or I know I hatched 15 last time, and this time I hatched 13. So it's gonna get cold out here again. It's freezing. You see, I got Mexican blankets on my trees already. I won't be out in the garden until then, but I do have a lot of seedlings inside. Chickens, turkeys, quail, they are all in the fowl family, but they are all different. They have different type of personalities. Quail mature faster, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. You can go ahead and do what you want with them and serve them up. Chickens, and they start laying eggs in 7 weeks. Quail start laying eggs in 7 weeks. So if you are short on eggs, you want a quick set of eggs, go ahead and get you some quail, because you'll get some eggs in about 7 weeks. Yeah, unless it's not a female. It's not a female. Chickens, 5 to 6 months, depending. Turkeys, I ain't got an egg from these turkeys yet. I don't know when they're gonna lay, but I don't think they lay very often. There we are. Everyone's different. Every species is different. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me. I thank you guys for being with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Go ahead and get you some quail. Yeah, don't keep them in your house though, because they smell bad. Bye, y'all.